You know, this wasn't supposed to be a money-making venture, the Iron Titan. I just put this sign here, 1 diamond per 64 iron blocks, just as a bit of a reward for having to build that thing twice. But this is raking in the dough. Anything here? Yes. Going well. Alrighty, this is where we're sitting with the diamonds. Probably not quite enough to make a diamond beacon yet. Not that it would really matter, I could just fill the middle with iron, but that'd be cool. So, I've been obsessed with the diamonds because I've been getting so many of them. Oh, I haven't even checked upstairs yet. So, all my builds in the last couple of days have been focused on shopping and trading and earning more diamonds. Lovely. So I've been thinking about what to do with all these diamonds I have. I kind of considered building a vault with diamond walls, like a big room to keep all my valuables in. But then I'll just kind of be like Scrooge McDuck, can swim around in all my gold and diamonds. That seems a little bit overboard, but I have been thinking about redoing my storage room. I think I've kind of outgrown this, and the wood box tends to fill up pretty quickly. But yeah, I want to have like a shulker box unloader, and I haven't really thought up a design for it yet. But often I come back from building, and I've just got these plain shulker boxes filled up with junk, and I've got to place them down here and just put them away piece by piece, and it takes forever. So I kind of want a little alcove I can go into where I just open up my ender chest and I just grab things and throw them out into a hopper, and they'll automatically be dispensed nice and cleanly in a big line somewhere, and then I can feed them into a proper item sorter. Like this one's not really big enough. But I'll have to come up with a design for that, so I don't think we'll be doing that in this episode, but we will check out what I've been doing. Like I mentioned before, I've been focusing on sort of shopping and earning more diamonds. Not that I'm diamond obsessed, but it's nearly daytime. Let's risk it. Was this a bad idea? Yes, I've got a baby zombie after me. So here's what I've been working on. So you might have thought my little horse stables over here was a bit of an unusual design. It's because I always intended it to be just like the edge of a much larger build. So I've got another one on that side, and it's far from done. I want to do a bit more up the top here because the creepers keep dropping down on top of me over there. But this is the docks. This is the docks for the slums. Now the city is going to have its own docks, so this is a smaller one. Like the city docks is going to be a whole huge area, but I want this to be an air dock, so for balloons to come in and land. And you'll notice there's nowhere for a balloon to land just yet, but I'm planning on having a moving platform that can go back and forth and just position itself in front of those different archways, so wherever they want the balloon to land, they can just put it where they want it, and the balloon will settle down right there, kind of like what I've done with this crane. I thought I heard a beastie. How the crane can move back and forth on these rails. We'll do something like that. So yes, this is all part of the crane build. So we've got an entrance right here, and I'm trying to keep the beasties from walking in by having a piece of carpet on top of another piece of carpet, and I don't think they like to cross that. So the crane can pick up things from the road here. Things have been delivered from the city or from my little cow farm there, and we'll swing around and drop them down here. So I've tried to make this look like this roof lifts up, and I've gone way overboard with the detail here. It doesn't make much sense. I'm going to have to dumb that down. It looks like a crazy furnace of some sort. But that's where the crane will drop its stuff down into there. So it'll come through the roof here, settle on these rails, and can be pushed along and sent off onto a balloon, or if it's coming from a balloon, it's be sent off over here to be picked up by the crane and sent off into the city. So the idea here was to make the place look sturdy, and I think I've accomplished that because it's holding up the hill. It's holding up Coop Dizzle's house all the way over there, and it's pretty much just the same pattern I've repeated. So you might think, gee, between episodes, Cortezerino, you've done a bit of work, and I have, but it really didn't take that long to build this. Ooh, and I've even used a bit of granite up there because granite actually does go with the clay bricks there. So I thought, while I've got the opportunity, I'll throw some granite into a build because it may never happen again. And I'm also thinking about extending this waterway all the way up here so we can have not only an air dock for balloons to come in, but a bit of an ocean dock just down here as well. But that's a long way off. A lot of building to do yet. So I mentioned that I was working on sort of shop builds and trading builds to get more diamonds and just to get the economy on the server up and running a bit better. This is all part of that. So this docks area I built just so my crane makes a bit of sense, and there'll be a lot more to go here. But I figured in a docks area like this, you'd have markets like, I know, like the fish markets in Sydney. They bring all the fish in and you've got guys there selling their wares really cheap. Like that's where you go to get your really cheap stuff. So I thought this would be a great place to have an auction house, which I've built in here. Now this is, I wasn't sure how to really conduct an auction on Minecraft. Like I know there are programs you can get to do an auction, but one where you could just place your goods up for sale, whatever you wanted to sell, and people could come in and place a bid, and when you got a bid you were happy with, you could just accept it and they get the goods. So this is why I've done it. So I've got instructions there on the wall. So basically you put your items that you want to sell. So I put a stack of glowstone in here, and a light comes on there when there's something in the chest, just so you're not running around all these empty chests opening them up looking for stuff. So yeah, just pop it in. I've just got a comparator in there so people can come along and see which chests have goods in them. So I've got efficiency 5 enchanted book there, and what they'll do is they'll grab a piece of paper from here and using the anvil just write their name on it and their bid. And you see over here someone's put a bid in the bottom chest because that light's on. So Silver Cossa's bid 4 diamonds for an Unbreaking 3 book. So I'll leave it there for a couple of days. If I don't get any other bids, 4 diamonds is good enough. I'll accept that. So over here I've got a chest for every person on the server. So rather than them putting all their payments in this chest and then like if I have 6 people placing a bid, then I've got to go and try and return all those diamonds or whatever they bid back to them. So basically they keep their payments in their chest here, and if I accept his bid, I'll just put the Unbreaking 3 book in his chest and take the payment out of there. So that's what I came up with. Let me know if you've got a better idea of how to do it, or even if that made a lot of sense, but I think it's okay. So at the moment we've just got 5 things in here. Protection 4 book, and what's the other one? Eluding 3 book. They're just things I threw in there to get started. It's only been completed for a day. I finished this yesterday and let the other guys on the server know about it. So I think Silvercost is probably the only person who's come and had a look. And so hopefully a couple of the other guys start using this place. And it's good if you just got 1 or 2 things you want to sell, like a leftover with a skeleton skull you don't know what to do with. Rather than set up a whole shop just for 1 or 2 items, you can just bring them here, and it's also good if you don't know what they're worth. You can, you might end up not getting nearly as much as you would have liked, but you could end up being offered a lot more than you would have charged for it. So this is another entrance I've got just on the dam wall here in the slums. So it's just so you don't have to go all the way around the other side of the hill to get to this place. Now the other thing I wanted to do, which I finished on the same day I finished this, I did the entire thing in one day because I was really excited to build it. It's something from, well, I don't know if they were the first people to do it, but it was from Hermitcraft Season 3. It was a lucky break game where you could break a slab on the floor, and underneath was a dropper. And it'd have items in it, so you'd pay a diamond to have a game, and you get to break one slab, and it's basically a lucky dip. You didn't know what you were going to get. So I've made a little one of them, and I was going to put it in here, and I started digging out an area, and I was hitting into the edge of the hill, so I thought, oh, I'm going to have to dig all the way down there to put it in, and then I realised I'm building way too much underground. Like, this is all in a hill, I suppose. It's not too underground-ish, and it opens up. But I thought I will build this one as a proper building out in the slums, and just to get the slums looking a little more complete. And it's nearly night time, and I haven't checked out this place, what it looks like at night yet, so let's get to somewhere safe-ish if I have time, and we'll have a look at it. I hope Coop's roof is spawn-proof. I don't need to be blowing up part of this. So that's my new build over there, and it doesn't light up quite as much as I thought it would, but it's got a fair bit of lighting. Let's go over to here. So that island was meant to be the main shopping sort of district for the slums, and then it's all sort of started up over here with my house selling the mending books, and a few little stores have popped up. So that's kind of like the unofficial centre of town now. But I thought, well, that was the original plan. I'll put my shop over there, and that's that building right there. And let's fly in, shall we? Ooh, can I hit the balcony? I can. Oh, it's nearly straight through the building. So this is the top floor, and just put a cute little couple of balconies in here for no other reason than the place was looking a little bit too symmetrical. So a few balconies like this look great, and it's amazing how much a few pot plants, so a few pots with flowers in it, makes a massive difference when looking at it from the bottom. So you can climb all the way up to the top here, but there's really no need because the shop is right on the bottom floor. I would kind of like to live up here though. This room's quite pretty. The next room down looks shocking. I've got to fix that. Nothing much here. It's more like a warehouse where I can keep supplies for my lucky break game. And let's just have a nap. We don't need too many beasties. Ooh, we've had a visitor. So 3 diamonds already. This one isn't really going to be a money making exercise because like I'll make some diamonds off it, but I'm pretty generous actually, so I think the prizes I've got in here far outweigh the total amount of diamonds that I'm going to get. So I'm not sure what he would have won here, though I think this one may have been the boats and hoes. So I've got a couple of joke ones in there, like I'll break a few of these and I'll see if I can find some of the more interesting ones without giving away to the other guys on the server which ones they are. See, quite a few of them are like this. So this cost me nothing because I've got my emerald factory now, so this all grows itself. But for someone else, paying 1 diamond to get all that might be just what they're after. And this is a joke one. The milk and cookies. That's pretty useless. You wouldn't want that. So 1 or 2 of them have player heads in them just because I've got player heads everywhere now. So it'll be a good decoration for someone else's house, or if they don't want it, they can just come to my shop and trade it for a mending book. Not bad for a 1 diamond purchase. So a bit of decoration there for someone's house. Got some potions. Dropper full of enchanted books. The cool thing about these enchanted books, like these aren't anything special, these ones, but I was trying to get just a bunch of books to put in this thing, and I was doing some random enchanting, and look at that, Sweeping Edge 3. I just managed to get a book with that on it, so straight onto my sword. Thank you very much. You know, when they brought out another enchantment for swords, I was like a dog with 2 tails. I was so happy. So that was just a quick look at some of the stuff I've got in here. I'm glad I didn't make it too big because it does take a while to fill all these up with something interesting. But I think the best prize I've got in here are shulker shells, and I don't think I'll be putting any more of them in here because that's quite a bit to give up. Anyway, I think the place is looking pretty good. I could still rough it up a little bit more, maybe a few more vines and some bushes, But those little flower pots, just look at the difference that makes in the detail. Just the occasional one here and there really brings the place to life, I think. So it probably took me about 3 hours to throw this house together, and I'm very, very happy with it. And I think I've figured out how to do this kind of building where you'll have the roof and then it just continues up and you'll have another roof, just this steampunk style. And I sort of failed at my first attempt at that, at least I think I did, in my one way over here with the windmill on it. It has the windmill on it because I was trying to cover it up because I didn't think it looked that good. I love pearls. That one over there. So I think the problem with this one is I had the second roof starting too low. And plus it's cobblestone, it doesn't look that nice. But you see, it's almost touching the top of the first roof. And that was my problem, I think. So on the next one I did, on this one I made sure I had a huge gap between the two roofs, so the bottom of that next floor basically starts just above the top of that first roof, and I think that's the trick. It looks so much better that way, and I could have just continued this up and up and up, which may be a project that I will do in another area of town. Like, I wouldn't have something that big in the slums, but I could definitely see myself in the rich area building a huge 4 or 5 story house, steampunky house just like this, with the small base and just going up and up and up. And I might wait to see what kind of builds they do in the city centre here, because this is going to be a lot of skyscrapers and stuff like that. So we've got a few coming up already. So we're doing the steampunk industrial revolution sort of theme here. And at the moment here in the city centre, they all look like full-on buildings. So I probably wouldn't do that style of steampunky house in here as a building, but definitely over there in the rich area, I think that will be a project for the future. So this has been a little bit of a show and tell episode, because it's the Christmas holidays. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, but I've been doing so in a room full of screaming kids. So this is the first little bit of recording I've been able to do. So I've built tons and tons and tons, and I'm not really sure what to do next. So this room's pretty much complete, I would say, but I do need to extend this docks a little bit. I've got to put in the movable platform. Oop. I've got to spawn-proof this area, because you walk out here just after nightfall and the creepers just drop down here, and the first thing you hear is there's a thud, then a hiss, then a boom. Luckily, this is pretty boom-proof. So I also kind of want to do a secret entrance from here into my base. And I also want to do the storage room. Revamp the storage room. Well guys, it is getting late, the sun is setting out there, so I am going to take a nap with all of my diamonds, and we will leave it there for this episode. So thanks for watching guys. Next episode I will probably continue on the slum docks, or maybe even, if I come up with a good design, do a new storage room. But if you've got a suggestion, let me know. I'm always open to requests. So cheers from me. I'm Cortezerino. See you later. This is really uncomfortable.